My name is Jasper Turner, and I am a teacher in the math department at SPA. That is a great question. I think that changed a lot. I think at one point I wanted to be a long-distance truck driver. Then I wanted to be a soccer player. And then I think engineer, maybe? I don't know, a lot of different things. The reason I ended up becoming a teacher was I started working, I actually have an economics background, and I started working at a summer camp, and it was for high schoolers, young high schoolers, so freshmen and sophomores, and I fell in love with it. And so I started doing that every summer. So I did that all throughout college, took on some teaching responsibilities there, really liked doing that. So being a teacher, I think I enjoy, I said connections with students. I like really building relationships with people. And I also really enjoy getting to see how other people think and using my skill set to help them think about things differently. And so I taught at another school back east, a boarding school for 13 years, and really liked that. But we have 3 young children, and the commitment for the 24-hour, 7 days a week kind of position was starting to be a bit of a grind for our family. And so we looked all over the U.S. And I remember coming here for my interview and being really impressed by the students and their sort of level of commitment to their academic studies, and then also just the level of support that this community has. And I think it's sort of in some ways best embodied by what I see in senior speeches, where kids stand up on stage and make themselves really vulnerable and are open with the community, and I'm always blown away by how articulate they are and how courageous they are in sharing their stories with everybody. I think SPA is a pretty special place where people can do that in high school. So. Not all my jokes are awful math puns. How about that?
Okay.
I'm actually kind of funny sometimes. I think no matter what, I think for anyone to be in this profession, you have to be really committed to kids. And I think that teachers are always dedicated to the students that they have and the kids in the building. And so I think that it's really helpful for kids to know that, for students to know that ultimately we all have your back constantly. And I think sometimes it's hard to remember that when you're in the moment and you're like, why is this teacher doing this to me? And it, honestly, there's a goal behind it. Wow. I mean, I think it happens all the time. Like, I think I get excited about all the little things. Like when a student who's had challenges in the class and says, this class is so hard, I don't think I can do it. And then by the end of the year has found themselves at a point where they're comfortable being uncomfortable and maybe okay with the idea that it's hard, but they can still do it and they keep fighting. Like I see that all the time, and those are my favorite moments when kids believe in themselves.